It's now 5:33, and this is the regularly scheduled City of Encinitas Environmental Commission meeting tonight. Vice Chair, would you like to start the meeting? Excellent.
There we go.
And we can begin with roll call.
Okay.
All
Let's
right.
begin with roll call.
Okay, Commissioner Katie Kramer.
Present.
Commission Vice Chair Christian Adams.
Present.
Commissioner Carol Parker.
Present.
New Commissioner Robert Switzler.
Present.
And new Commissioner Mark O'Connor.
Present.
Let the record show we have 5 members of the Environmental Commission tonight.
Thanks, Chamomile. And would one of our new members like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Mark? Thank you, Commissioner. I'd like to welcome 2 new commissioners, Commissioner Mark O'Connor and Robert Switzler. Thank you for helping me out with the last names. Do we have any changes to the agenda?
No changes tonight.
Okay. Do we have any oral communications?
No oral communications tonight.
All right. Did everyone have a chance to review any questions or anything on the October 14th meeting minutes? Can I get a motion to approve the October 14th meeting minutes?
I make a motion to approve the minutes from October.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we don't have any informational items, so right into the action items in the work plan. You want to take it here, Eric?
I'd love to. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up, since this is kind of the headliner for tonight, the Environmental Commission work plan. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up, and this is probably a really good item for us to spend a little time on tonight with the new commissioners in place. So this is an opportunity to kind of go through the work plan. I'll provide some updates. It's been a couple months since we've met. And then it might provide a good opportunity for the new commissioners, if they have any interest in any of the specific goals, to bring that up now. And then obviously if there's any other updates or interest by any of the seated commissioners, then we'll go through that. So let me go ahead and pull it up. So I'll just kind of reorient everybody. This is a standing item each month. The intent is to bring the item forward. How do I get rid of this sidebar thing? Are you all seeing that too? Yes. This over here? I don't know how to get rid of it. Okay. We will work around it. Can you guys all see it okay? Okay. So just as a reminder, reorient on it, it's a monthly item. Going back a few years, it was decided that it would be important to kind of reorient every month back to the work plan. Kind of get that running tally over here where the status tracking is of kind of what's happened related to the various goals and intended outcomes. So each month, what you'll see is in red will be kind of the new activity, stuff that's happened in the months prior to this particular meeting. In the end, when it's all said and done, this is an action item, something to vote on, because at the end of each year, the collective of all the information that's gathered here in the status tracking is what will eventually go to City Council. So they'll see the collective of work and accomplishments of the commission that way. So I'll just go through this month's update. So under the CAP implementation, Ordinance 2021-13 was adopted by the City Council on October 27th. The ordinance is currently under review by the California Energy Commission and is anticipated to be approved by the CEC Board on January 26th, making this date the ordinance effective date. Staff is in the process of preparing final implementation, fact sheets, forms, et cetera. If the language before that that's not in red, we'll just kind of reorient everybody on the fact that that ordinance was actually brought to this commission, and this commission did provide a recommendation to City Council to approve that. So that was a long process and a big step, especially in the CAP implementation space. The next update for this month is under vegetation management. Staff is currently coordinating a joint meeting with the Environmental Commission, Planning Commission, and the Urban Forest Advisory. This got cut off. Committee, the UFAC. I will be updating the commission at the end of this meeting under item number 9 to provide a little more detail on what's planned and kind of some of the backdrop for that particular item. But that's the update for now. Under Ciclovia, so just as a heads up, Ciclovia Encinitas, another initiative that was initiated here by the Environmental Commission and has now become a city event. The 2022 Ciclovia has been scheduled for January 9th, 2022 from 10 to 2 p.m. I think separately outside of the meeting, I think we shared the flyer, or we will be sharing the flyer specific to that event for some more details. Under Zero Waste, it was on October 14th, 2021, that the Environmental Commission approved a recommendation to the City Council to introduce and adopt ordinances 2021-15, which was the mandatory organics recycling ordinance, 2021-16, which was an update to the solid waste management ordinance, and 2021-17, which was an update to the city's construction and demolition debris recycling amendment. Welcome. That's okay. Through a public hearing on November 17, 2021, City Council approved the introduction of those ordinances. While it's not, it'll be reflected on next month's update. Actually, last night at City Council, the City Council did take final action on all those ordinances, so they're fully adopted. So that's a good, big step on the solid waste and zero waste space. On the pollution prevention side, on October 14th, 2021, we'll remember that the Environmental Commission approved a recommendation to City Council to introduce and adopt Ordinance 2021-19, which is the balloon ordinance. I will include it in next month's update, but I can verbally let you know that that has been scheduled as of right now for consideration by the City Council on January 19th. So that's coming. And that's all I have for updates. One of the things that you will see in here too is since the last update, Commissioner Bisconer is no longer with the commission. We've got replacement members, which we've met tonight, Commissioner O'Connor and Commissioner Switzler. I'm going to open it up for commission discussion at this point. If there's any interest, we can certainly take notes and update items on this. Just as a reminder, any updates we can capture. So essentially the motion would be, if there are any updates to this, to the way it's laid out right now, the motion is essentially to adopt the December 2021 update with recommended changes. So that would be how that would go mechanically. So I will turn it over to you all for conversation, anything that you want to see added, changed, the like.
And quick point of order, Commissioner William Morrison joined us at 5:40 p.m.
With a really nice hat on. Yes. I should say festive hat.
That's the rule. If you come late, you got to wear a festive hat.
Yes.
Eric, this is Commissioner Adams. Eric, would we want to update the divestment strategies that a resolution came through and was passed on to City Council and passed, or is that not?
That is a good point. That has not been included here, and that was, I apologize for that.
No worries.
That is totally my oversight. Yes, you are correct. I would have to recall the specific date, but yes, that did go through. I don't know why. I don't know if that would have been captured in a prior month and not carried over.
I'm surprised I didn't see it before.
That might be the case, but we will go ahead and include that update in the next one. So that's a perfect recommendation. Thank you for catching that.
And so just to reiterate for the new members, since we have a couple, if there's anything on here that's interests you and you want to volunteer to be on, we can have up to 3 on each item. If it's 4, it's too many, and then the Brown Act is instituted. One thing where we do need help is the environmental, the EAP, if you scroll up a little bit on that, Eric, environmental awards program. Something we've been doing for, I don't know how many years now, but Commissioner Bisconer is no longer on the committee, and I've been doing it the last few years, so I could use some help with it. So if anyone's interested in being a part of that, that would be great.
Yeah, this is Carol Parker. I could do that. I have some ideas already.
Great.
And this is Commissioner O'Connor, and I've looked this over, and I've got some background in with volunteering with Surfrider San Diego, and I'd like to add my name to number 12, Cyclovia, number 13, Zero Waste, and number 14, Plastic Pollution.
Got it.
Great.
And just for my own knowledge, then, it was 3 going across. If I wanted to participate in the awards program, there's another spot there if no one else had the desire. And is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I would put my name there too.
You're in.
Awesome.
This is Commissioner Switzler. So I guess my approach to this is that I have actually interest in all these topics, but with people recently leaving the commission, I guess I would ask for your input on what areas need support or help, because that's what I'm here to do, is to volunteer and help where it's needed. So if there's one of the items you could recommend, I would gladly accept that.
Hi, this is Commissioner Kramer. Thank you for being so open-minded about particular topics of need. But I have been sort of starting to embark on some strategies for implementing green building actions that are, the ordinance has been passed for new builds, but we would like to also improve green building strategies for current buildings, which comprise like the majority of buildings in our city. So if that's of interest to you, I think that would be number 8 under capital implementation, but it also sort of falls within that other, like the nexus, the environment to planning nexus. Just thinking about, we heard from some residents, some really active residents on the environmental front and green building front, talking about some ideas for implementing green buildings in current buildings by increasing incentives and changing permitting processes and inspection processes, because a lot of inspectors aren't really aware of, at least from our presentation that we heard, or incentivized to use green building practices. So that's an area of need and interest, if that's of interest to you.
Okay, again, Commissioner Switzler. So yeah, I would agree to joining with that. Was number, I forget what number that was.
8.
Was it 8?
8
right.
and 11.
Yeah, I'm also noticing number 9 has nobody signed up for it, so that's something that I could help out with if
Okay.
the irrigation practices.
Perfect.
Have some experience with that, not a lot, but
Great.
And I'll help out Commissioner Morrison on number 9, since I'm the little.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would say anywhere where you see the name Bisconer crossed out, we could probably use a fill there. So I think you hit a few of them. There's also the San Onofre Nuclear Generating Station. I'm working on that. Ari and I are on that, but that's a big kind of things, so we could always use help there. And then, for anybody, not just Commissioner Switzler. But yeah, thank you for your volunteering. Any other comments, or does anyone else want to see their, help out with anything else on here?
This is Commissioner Morrison. I was back in the 2 months ago, I guess I put my name down to be on Cyclavia with Commissioner Adams. So that would make 3 now. Oops.
Yep. So that would be Adams, Morrison, and O'Connor.
And I could be on the songs, number 16.
Okay.
And just to give a little background of how things get to this, like the divestment strategies, for instance, was something that I kind of took, and I created a resolution. We put it on here. I brought, it was a resolution. What was it called that what's it called when you bring it to the commission, Eric, I guess, to get on here? So if someone has something they don't see on here that they want.
It was onto the work plan, or?
To the work plan, yeah.
Yeah, you just introduce it as into the work plan. Is there a term you're looking for?
No,
that I'm
I
not
just didn't
helping
know
you?
if the process of it, usually it's,
Essentially, you added it to the work plan. You brought the idea forward as a commissioner-initiated item. You just kind of introduced the commission to the concept. You went back, did some heavy lifting on it, did some work, did some research, brought an agenda report forward, presented it to the commission. There was actually, I think it came through a couple times, right? I think the first time there was kind of the full discourse with the commission was kind of like, well, let's kind of hone this in and define it a little better, and then it came back and got approved. And
yeah. So just so you have a background how to get it on. If there's something not on here, a subject matter that you want to see addressed, you bring it up in a commissioner-initiated action item.
Perfect.
In
Yeah,
the meeting.
right.
And then you can go, if the board seems like you have support, you can go back and then you make, it's not a resolution, it's, I guess, whatever the term is, and Eric can help you craft it for the template for that, to bring it to the commission to get it on the work plan.
Yeah.
Is the process.
You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. And just so we know, Cyclavia, it's kind of running, it's run by the city now, so I don't know if there's a lot of action that the commission needs to take at this point, but.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I reached out to Nick, and he said, we'll be in touch if we
Yeah.
need something. And
Yeah.
he hasn't gotten back in touch with me.
Yeah, but that was something that, for example, Joy, Commissioner Lins, who's now on the city council, and was it Commissioner Wong?
I think so.
Commissioner Wong brought that.
Yeah.
It's actually one of the first meetings actually I listened to before I was on the commission. And they brought it, and that was their kind of child that they brought up. And then it got passed, and now the city's kind of taken over, so there's not much work for us to do as far as it goes.
Yeah.
As Commissioner Morrison just let us know.
Yeah. And I think it stayed on the work plan essentially because there was a little bit of uncertainty with COVID, and
Yeah.
the commission wasn't comfortable. Commissioner Kramer and Novi were on the work plan subcommittee, and I think that was the conversation at that time was, well, we're not sure. We just want to make sure we keep it going, and if the commission needed to opine in that space to keep it moving, but here it is. It's already happening. It's already scheduled. Parks and Rec is running with it.
Yeah.
I did want to provide just a quick update. It's not on here because it's not this month's update, but the San Onofre Nuclear Generating Station, that resolution was, and why did I not include that? That was approved at the prior meeting too. I'm sorry, I apologize. And it's going forward to the city council next week. So it'll be in front of council next week. So we'll include all those updates. I apologize. Here, this was like the main item, and I forgot 2 really important things. I apologize for that.
We forgive you.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
I don't know if Ari would, but since I'm here.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Thank goodness. That went smoothly for me.
You got the nice substitute teacher.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that I've got everything written down. Obviously, you guys, you're all aware, and for the new commissioners as well, all the meetings are recorded, everything's captured. Kim was great at putting together all the meeting notes and capturing all the action. So if your name is associated with anything, we've got it down, and we'll bring it all back next month. And so you'll see it again. You'll see your name on there. And then in terms of moving different goals and strategies forward, that's all on you. That's the heavy lift that you all get tasked with. So, so with that, I'll leave it up to you guys what you want to do next. Make a motion
Make a motion to approve the
with
updated
changes.
agenda
With changes.
with changes. Thanks.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so that's the work plan with the updates. Thank you, everyone, for your volunteering. Next thing is there's no commissioner-initiated agenda items, correct, Kim Emil? No? Updates on items of interest to commission, announcements by the commission. This is your spot to, kind of a general thing, if you wanted to bring something up. Does anybody have anything?
I'll start real fast. So I did get onto the cyclovia, but I was using it as a stepping stone for a lot of other bike-oriented activities in the city. So I think at some point then I will be bringing something forward, if it's starting a bike club, if it's destination rides in the community, to try to invigorate people out of their cars and onto bikes. So that's something that I would like to bring forward at some point, but I'm definitely going to get involved with the cyclovia network and see what is already out there and what needs to be bolstered. So I'll come back at some point, as you did, and bring something forward for discussion.
Great. I know
So
I'd be
all things
supportive of.
bikes.
Yeah, I think I'd be supportive of that. And if you haven't been to cyclovia, there's only been one, but it's pretty amazing, especially if you have kids. It was a pretty awesome experience. And so I would definitely be in favor of things like that. I'd like to bring up, so we do the environmental awards, and there's a few of them. There's for a business, there's for an individual, and there's for, I think it's called youth, for someone under 18 or younger that lives in Encinitas. And we've been doing it in the last few years. The youth was just added last year, 2019. We haven't had any submittals yet. We extended the December 31st was the deadline. It goes to January, and we extended to the end of January. How it usually works is we don't get submittals until kind of the end. But if you could, Camille's going to share with everyone the link, and if you could share it on your different social medias and with your networks, that'd be great, because it's a really nice thing to win, especially for businesses and people that are helping to contribute to sustainability. And there's a lot of them, and there's a lot of good ones in Encinitas, so recognize them. And we usually, what happens is they get an award in the spring where the mayor presents it to them in front of city council. So it's a nice thing to win, especially for the youth as well. So Camille will be sharing that with you, so if you could share it on your social media networks, that'd be great. Thanks.
And who's making the nominations? This group, or from the outside recommending to us to review?
Great question. So anybody can make a recommendation for someone that lives in the person nominee, I believe, has to live in Encinitas, but
For the business?
the business has to reside, I believe, in Encinitas. Yeah. So it's a business in Encinitas, or the person has to reside in Encinitas. But anyone can. You don't even have to be in Encinitas to nominate the person. So anybody can nominate. But yeah,
Including
and
us?
commissioners can also nominate. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because I was thinking that this would be a good year to look at restaurants that are complying with the organic waste order.
Totally. Yeah.
Because I don't think the compliance is real good. So I think that would be good to highlight.
Be great candidates. Yeah.
So if you see anybody, if you notice restaurants that are complying well, I think that'd be a good person to
Definitely.
nominate.
Great recommendation.
How could what could we observe? Like, were they just that they're putting organics in the green bin, or how would we monitor that?
Well, most of them are not having separate trash versus organic recycling. So like, and then, because, you know, the food waste compared to trash, that's the biggest one that I'm not seeing. So,
Because I can speak to that just a little bit, but what you should be seeing over time is that businesses will need to bring to the front of the house, basically to the customer-facing elements of their business, the opportunity for people to separate their food and dispose of their food in a separate bin. So it's going to be a slow roll, but I think Commissioner Parker brings up a good point. If there's a business that's already doing that you're seeing, they're an early adopter. So that's something that's really recognizable.
especially with, you know, restaurants that you have to bust your own table, which is more and more, so.
Yeah, I'm going to plug a Surfrider program, Ocean Friendly Restaurants. There's numerous in the city that go well above and beyond, not only with plastic, but with organics. So it'd be a place to search and look for somebody who's probably on the forefront to give some recognition to.
Definitely. Any other updates?
I have one item, if I may. So in the month of January, let me kind of set this up just a little bit. I already started with the month of January, but actually in August, it was Commissioner Lyons, Councilmember Lyons, and Councilmember Hinsey established, through a city council initiated item, established a subcommittee to essentially develop a native plant landscape policy or ordinance and development standards. And so there's, to kind of kick that process off, we're in the planning process of a special joint meeting between the Planning Commission, the Environmental Commission, and the UFAC, which is the Urban Forest Advisory Committee. Right now, that's circled up for January 27th, so that's next month. So this commission will be asked to participate. It's not a regular meeting. There's no voting. It's really kind of a working session. I did speak with Commission Chair Novi prior to the meeting, and he had asked the question if it was going to take the place of our regularly scheduled meeting of the Environmental Commission. And I said, it's either or. It's at the commission's discretion. The next commission meeting in January is the week after the holidays. It's basically the second week in January. I don't know that there's going to be a massive amount of stuff on the agenda at that time. So it's certainly within the commission's discretion. I told Commission Chair Novi that I would bring it up, see if there's any strong feelings either way, and leave it at his discretion as the chair and kind of ultimately make a decision. So just wanted to throw it out there. There's this group meeting, special joint meeting to talk about a really important topic and kind of get some good momentum going. Whether it takes place of the regular meeting, that's up to you. If you want to opine and talk about it, that's totally fine. If not, for your information.
Commission Secretary Chamomile Meadow, just wanted to introduce our two brand-new commissioners, Mark O'Connor and Robert Switzler. No pressure, but if you would like to take this time to introduce yourself or say anything, you don't have to, but if you would like to take this moment to say anything to the commission or to the public.
Or sing a song.
Or sing a song.
Whatever your talents are, we're open to that.
All right, I was going to divert back to that question. And I have no problem if it was a combined meeting, if our meeting would be that presentation and discussion. Yeah, I've got no problem. I'm not having a history of how things roll here with how many things on the agenda, but I would entertain doing that to learn more about it myself.
Agreed. I'd like to attend the joint committee meeting.
Okay. All right. I can convey that to Commission Chair.
So would it be an environmental commission meeting then?
It would just be a joint, it would just basically take place, there wouldn't be a regularly scheduled environmental commission meeting. There would just be a joint special meeting between all those, the commissions and the UFAC.
Great.
And so there wouldn't be any specific environmental commission business conducted at that meeting. It would be a one-topic meeting, essentially. And it would it could potentially replace, essentially what would happen is the regularly scheduled environmental commission meeting would get canceled. And then in its, not in place of it, but in addition to, there would be that opportunity for you all to participate in the meeting on the 27th, which is a special joint meeting.
And that would be optional.
Yeah.
Do we
We'd like
still,
as much attendance as possible, obviously.
do we still have a lot of speakers scheduled for the Environmental Commission meetings?
Say that again?
Speakers scheduled, like the presenters?
Oh, do we
Sorry.
have I don't believe we have a presentation schedule. We're pretty low on presentation.
We're all, okay, we caught up.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I don't think we have any presentations scheduled for January, from my recollection. Camille, do you recall?
We do not have any presentations scheduled, but we do have a queue of people
Yeah,
that could present.
yeah,
And we always welcome new presenters, too.
yeah.
Okay. Is there a reason that we didn't have a presenter this month? Do you know, if we had a queue?
Not in particular. We used to have as a standing informational item, just the schedule for everyone to see, so we knew what was coming.
Gotcha.
And since we didn't have any speakers in the queue, we sort of dropped that off the agenda, but we can certainly bring it back too.
Okay, so we do have speakers though lined up right now.
Not exactly lined
No.
up. They're more of a recommended topic speaker
Got it.
that
Yeah.
former commissioners and current commissioners would like to see speak.
Yeah, it's more desired topics. So really, in terms of bringing speakers in, we rely on you all to identify and invite speakers to come and present.
Okay.
There's a former speaker on this commission right now, Katie Kramer. She came and presented to our commission.
Okay, so that's good to know that we don't have, so we could use some recommendations and maybe
Yes.
if you could share that, the queue, and we could take a look at that so we can kind of get
Yeah.
people back up on there. I think
Yeah,
that'd
and
be
if
good.
and that's something that can even happen outside. So we'll we share it collectively with the entire commission. So this can happen outside the meeting. And then if you have speakers identified, just let us know, and we'll fill those spots and those dates in.
Great.
And is there going to be a speaker at our presentation for the native plant?
I don't know. I'm really not kind of taking the lead on it. I'm just kind of corralling our commission, and I know the UFAC is going to be involved in the planning commission. I'm not sure how it's going to be orchestrated or managed at this point. I think it's kind of in a little bit of a planning phase. Sorry that I don't have more detail, but
And it would be hearsay, but you said Ari was in favor of this?
no, he had no.
Oh, he doesn't know
no
about it.
feeling.
Okay, all right.
I just told him I'd bring it up, let you guys kind of kick it around a little bit, and see if there was a general consensus or not. And if there's not, it's fine. He'll kind of manage through it.
So is there an ordinance put forth
No,
that they just put
no.
the
This
idea out?
is literally a subcommittee was established. Let's get the work started in the new year.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's literally a starting point.
Yeah.
And just for reference, if you need any kind of evaluation, it was at the August 11th, 2021 City Council meeting, and that'll be online. So there'll be an agenda report. I'm actually looking at it right now. So there's an agenda report. It was item 12A on that agenda.
So does Commissioner Switzler and O'Connor, would you like to just introduce or give us a
Sure.
little background?
Yeah,
Love to hear
I'll take a minute. Mark O'Connor, and I'm born and raised in Encinitas. I'm in my childhood home over on La Mesa Avenue, Pacific View, Oak Crest, San Diego, 1975. Gives you my age away, but I don't mind. So I'm retired, so I have quite a bit of free time. And in retirement, and with the birth of my grandson, Nolan, I started picking up debris on the beaches on my walks. I got tired of stepping over it and started figuring out why is this item here. and joined Surfrider. And I found a great organization that is protecting the oceans and the waves for all. And one thing led to another, and I became a committee lead for the Rise of a Plastic Committee for the San Diego chapter. A lot of policy work, influencing cities to skip the stuff or get rid of single-use plastics, and lots of other projects, of which this fine body embraced balloons, which have been mentioned coming up, the banning of them. It's a zero waste nightmare and a pollutant to the environment. And so through that, this opening came forward, and with a nudge, I decided to do it. It's such a wonderful opportunity to the things that I'm already doing to highlight and to make the city a little healthier and safer and happier for all of its citizens and visitors. So I'm excited about this opportunity to join you, and you all won't have the same moment here to tell me about yourselves, but hopefully over a cup of coffee sometime down the road, you can let me know about yourselves too. So thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Good evening. So Robert Switzler, and my wife and I have lived in Leucadia since the mid-90s. My wife grew up in Encinitas, so she's been here a lot longer, and I always thank her that she brought me down here. We raised our 3 boys here. They marched in the Christmas parade. They wrestled for LCC and played football and lacrosse for San Diego and LCC. So, really love the city. We've spent a lot of time here. I was an assistant scoutmaster with Troop 776 for 15 years with all my boys. And when I got done with that a couple years ago, when they grew out of it, was looking for another opportunity to volunteer my time, and really care very much about the environment. I think it's a key part of what makes this city so wonderful. I grew up in LA, and I know what it's like when a city doesn't take care of the environment. So I really appreciate that, and just thought it was a good opportunity for me maybe to contribute and help, with the city I love.
Welcome. Well, we're glad to have you both here, and Commissioner Parker, is their second meeting? Yeah. So it's the second meeting here, right? 'Cause you started, yeah. So it's great, and don't hesitate to ask questions. I still do ask a lot of questions, so we're grateful to have you here. Any other items of interest or announcements?
I have a question for Eric that you may or may not be able to answer, but I was just curious about the outcome of the two-way bike lane discussion at the city council. I think it was last night. Do you have any info about that?
No. I'm just being honest. I actually do not.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other items of interest? Okay, moving on to 10, future commissioner-initiated agenda items. Not yet. If that's it, then I think all in favor to adjourn? Do I have to
Move
make a
to
motion to
adjourn,
that?
yes.
Move to adjourn?
Second? Do you need
Okay. I don't know. Do we need? No. Okay, so the meeting is adjourned.